My name is Dorothy Harrison. I'm 68 years old, and until 3 weeks ago, I thought I had the perfect family. I've been a widow for 5 years now. My husband Robert passed away from a heart attack, and honestly, some days I still reach for the phone to call him. But I kept going. You do, don't you? You keep going for your children. And I have one child, one beautiful, successful son, Michael. He's 42 now, a tech executive. Travels all over the world, Singapore, London, Tokyo. I'm so proud of him. Sometimes I look at him and think, Robert, we did good. Michael married Jessica 15 years ago. She was 23 then, fresh out of college, beautiful, ambitious. I welcomed her with open arms. I wanted to be the mother-in-law I never had, the kind that helps, that supports, that doesn't interfere but is always there when needed. And I was there. Oh, I was there for everything. When they wanted to buy their first house but didn't have enough for the down payment, I gave them $35,000. It's a gift, I said. Don't worry about paying it back. When Jessica lost her job 2 years later, I bought them a car. $8,500. When they needed their kitchen remodeled, $12,000. When my grandchildren, Emma and Lucas, needed private school tuition for 3 years, $18,000. But the money? That was nothing compared to the time. For the past 15 years, I've watched Emma and Lucas 3 days a week. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm at their house by 7 in the morning. I make breakfast, pack lunches, take them to school, pick them up, help with homework, make dinner. Jessica calls it helping out. I call it raising my grandchildren. And I loved every minute of it. Emma's 12 now. Lucas is 9. They're my world. When Robert died, those kids saved me. Gave me a reason to wake up every morning. I never asked for anything in return. That's what family does, right? We help each other. We sacrifice. We show up. But lately, something changed. Jessica started acting different. Shorter answers when I called. Less eye contact when I arrived. Small things. Things you tell yourself you're imagining because you don't want to be that mother-in-law. The sensitive one. The burden. Last Tuesday, I arrived at their house a few minutes early. Michael was in Singapore for a 2-week business trip. The front door was unlocked, so I walked in quietly, not wanting to disturb anyone. That's when I heard Jessica on the phone in the kitchen. Her voice was different, sharp, honest in a way I'd never heard before. She didn't know I was standing in the hallway, frozen, listening to her describe me to whoever was on the other end of that call. And what I heard made my blood run cold. Because in that moment, I realized something terrible. For 15 years, I thought I was building a family. But Jessica, she was just using me, and she was about to learn that even the kindest people have limits. I stood there in the hallway, my hand still on the doorknob, holding my breath. Jessica's voice carried from the kitchen, casual and light, like she was discussing the weather. I know, right? She's here constantly. Like I appreciate the help, but God, sometimes I just want space in my own house, you know? Pause. Laughter. No, Michael doesn't see it. He thinks his mom is a saint. And maybe she was, I don't know. But now, it's just exhausting. My heart pounded. I should have left. Should have closed the door quietly and come back later. But my feet wouldn't move. Anyway, I can't talk now. She should be here any minute. Yeah, I'll call you later. Bye. I heard her footsteps approaching. Quickly, I opened the door again, making noise this time, calling out brightly, Jessica, it's me. Sorry, I'm a bit early. She appeared in the hallway, phone in hand, smile plastered on her face. But I saw it now. The tightness around her eyes, the way her jaw clenched for just a second before she relaxed it. Oh, Dorothy, Yes, you're early. She glanced at her phone. The kids are still getting ready. You want coffee? No, thank you, sweetie. I'm fine. I kept my voice steady, warm, normal. But nothing felt normal anymore. The morning passed in a blur. I made Emma and Lucas pancakes shaped like Mickey Mouse, just like I always did. Lucas laughed and covered his in way too much syrup. Emma, my sweet 12-year-old Emma, was quieter than usual. After Jessica left for work, or wherever she was going, Emma helped me clean the dishes. That's when she asked the question that broke my heart. "Grandma?" "Yes, sweetheart." "Why does Mom say you come here too much?" I froze, plate in my hands, soap suds dripping onto the floor. "What do you mean, honey?" Emma looked down, uncomfortable. "I heard her talking to Dad last week. She said you're always here and that she needs space. I thought you liked being here with us." I set the plate down carefully, dried my hands, and knelt in front of my granddaughter. "Emma, look at me. I love being here with you and Lucas, more than anything in the world. Your mom is just... she's stressed. Adults say things when they're stressed that they don't really mean. But even as I said it, I wondered if I was lying to her, or to myself. Did we do something wrong?" Emma's eyes filled with tears. "Is that why Mom acts weird when you're around?" "Oh, baby, no. No, no, no." I pulled her into a hug. "You and Lucas are perfect. This has nothing to do with you." But it had everything to do with me. The afternoon crawled by. I helped Lucas with his math homework, fractions, his least favorite. I folded 2 loads of laundry that Jessica had left in the dryer. I vacuumed the living room. I prepared chicken casserole for their dinner and left it in the oven with instructions. All the things I'd done for 15 years. All the things I thought were appreciated. At 5:30, Jessica came home. She barely looked at me. "Thanks, Dorothy. You can go now." Not, "Thank you so much." Not, "What would I do without you?" Just, "You can go now." Like I was a housekeeper clocking out. I made dinner. It's in the oven, 350 for 30 minutes. Great. She was already looking at her phone, scrolling through something. "Jessica, can we..." "Actually, Dorothy, I have a thing tonight. A friend thing, so I really need to get ready." A friend thing? The same friend she'd been complaining to about me on the phone? Of course. I'll just say goodbye to the kids. I found Emma and Lucas in the playroom. They hugged me tighter than usual, like they could sense something was wrong. "See you Friday, my loves." "Love you, Grandma," they said in unison. I drove home in silence. My hands gripped the steering wheel so tight my knuckles turned white. At home, my house felt emptier than usual. I made myself a sandwich I didn't eat, turned on the TV, and didn't watch it. That night, alone in my kitchen, I noticed something I hadn't before. On my refrigerator, held by a magnet, was a drawing Lucas had made me months ago. It showed our family, me, Michael, Jessica, Emma, and Lucas, all holding hands, all smiling. But in the corner, in Lucas's messy handwriting, "Grandma makes everything better." Did I, though? Or was I just in the way? I went to bed early but couldn't sleep. I kept replaying Jessica's voice on that phone call, the casual cruelty of it. She's here constantly. It's exhausting. Around 11, my phone buzzed. A text from Michael. "Hi, Mom. Singapore is crazy hot. How are my babies? How are you?" I stared at the message for a long time. My finger hovered over the keyboard. I could tell him. I could say, "Your wife doesn't want me around anymore." I could be honest. Instead, I typed, "Everyone's great. Kids miss you. Come home safe. Love you." Because that's what mothers do, right? We protect. We smooth things over. We don't cause problems. But that night, something shifted inside me. A small voice, one I'd been ignoring for months, maybe years, started to grow louder. The voice that said, "You deserve better than this." The voice that said, "This isn't love. This is use." The voice that said, "Don't you dare stay silent." Wednesday was worse. I arrived at 7 to find a note on the kitchen counter. Not a text, not a call. A note. "Dorothy, please follow these rules. 1. Don't give the kids sugar before school. 2. Don't rearrange anything in the kitchen. 3. Please take your shoes off at the door. 4. Lock up when you leave. Thanks." Rules. In the house I'd helped them buy, for the grandchildren I'd helped raise. I crumpled the note and threw it away. Thursday, Jessica came home while I was still there and criticized how I'd cut the carrots for Lucas's snack. He likes them in sticks, not rounds, Dorothy. I'd been cutting carrots for Lucas since he had teeth. Friday morning, Michael sent another text. "One more week, Mom. Then I'm home. You're a lifesaver. Don't know what we'd do without you." I stared at that message. Don't know what we'd do without you. But Jessica knew exactly what she'd do. She'd find someone else. Someone she actually wanted around. That afternoon, I picked Emma and Lucas up from school like always. They piled into my car, backpacks flying, voices chattering about their day. "Can we go to your house, Grandma?" Emma asked. "Mom has friends over again." Again. "Sure, sweetie, let me just drop off your bags first." We pulled into Jessica's driveway at 3:15. Through the large living room window, I could see them. Jessica and 3 women, wine glasses in hand, laughing on the couch, in the middle of a Friday afternoon, while I took care of her children. Emma and Lucas went quiet beside me. "Come on," I said softly. "Let's go inside." I opened the door. The laughter was louder now. One of the women I recognized, Diane, Jessica's college friend. Jessica looked up, startled. "Oh, you're early." "School ends at 3, Jessica. Same time it's ended for 9 years. Diane raised her wine glass slightly. "You must be the famous Grandma." Famous. The word hung in the air. Jessica's face flushed. Maybe from the wine, maybe from something else. And then she said the words that changed everything. The words that made 15 years of sacrifice crack right down the middle. The words that proved I'd been right to listen to that small voice inside me. "Famous," Jessica laughed, a brittle sound. "Try constant burden." I didn't sleep that night. I kept replaying it. Jessica's laugh. That word, burden. Emma had heard it. Lucas had heard it. Jessica's friends had heard it. And Jessica? She'd tried to backtrack immediately. "Oh my God, Dorothy, I didn't mean, I'm just tired, we've been drinking." But I saw the truth in her eyes. She'd meant every syllable. I'd taken the kids to my house that night, made them grilled cheese and tomato soup, let them watch movies until they fell asleep on my couch. When Jessica called at 9 demanding I bring them home, I simply said, "They're already asleep. I'll bring them in the morning." "You can't just take my kids." I didn't take them. I'm caring for them, like I've done for 15 years. I hung up before she could respond. Saturday morning, Michael called from Singapore. "Mom, I tried calling Jessica last night and she was weird. Is everything okay?" Everything was not okay, but he had 1 more week of work, important meetings, a promotion on the line. "Everything's fine, honey. Jessica's just stressed. You focus on work." I was still protecting her, still protecting him, still protecting everyone but myself. What was wrong with me? Sunday, I returned Emma and Lucas home. Jessica was cold, but civil. "Thank you, Dorothy. I'll see you Tuesday." Like nothing had happened, like she hadn't called me a burden in front of my grandchildren. Monday morning, I woke up with a pit in my stomach. Michael would be gone another full week. 7 more days of pretending everything was fine. 7 more days of feeling unwanted in the family I'd sacrificed everything for. Tuesday arrived too quickly. I knocked on the door at 7. Jessica answered in her bathrobe, coffee in hand. "Morning," she said flatly. "Morning, sweetie." She didn't move aside to let me in right away, just stood there blocking the doorway, looking at me like I was a door-to-door salesman. "Jessica, the kids need to get ready for school." "Right." She stepped aside. "Try not to make a mess today, okay? Try not to make a mess." In the house where I cooked, cleaned, and raised her children 3 days a week, I bit my tongue so hard I tasted blood. The kids were subdued that morning. Emma moved quietly, didn't talk much. Lucas kept looking between his mother and me like he was waiting for something bad to happen. After Jessica left, Emma finally spoke. "Grandma, are you mad at Mom?" "No, sweetheart. Why?" "Because you look sad, and Mom looks mad." Out of the mouths of 12-year-olds. "Everything's fine, honey. Now let's get you two to school." Wednesday was worse. I arrived to find a printed list on the kitchen counter, typed, single-spaced, titled, House Guidelines for Dorothy. Guidelines. My hands shook as I read it. 1. Please remove shoes at door and use designated slippers. 2. Do not give children sugar, juice, or processed snacks. 3. Limit TV to 30 minutes maximum. 4. Do not rearrange items in kitchen, bathrooms, or bedrooms. 5. Please notify me before using any ingredients for cooking. 6. Children's bedtime routine is my responsibility. Do not interfere. 7. Lock all doors and windows before leaving. 8. Please text when you arrive and when you leave. I read it 3 times. 15 years, $360,000, countless hours of love and labor. And now I needed permission to use ingredients in the kitchen. I folded the list carefully and put it in my purse. Evidence. Though of what, I wasn't sure yet. That afternoon I made the kids chocolate chip cookies, used Jessica's ingredients without asking, because I'd helped buy the kitchen those ingredients sat in. When Jessica came home and saw the cookies, her face went red. I specifically asked you not to give them sugar, Dorothy. They're children, Jessica. It's one cookie. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You don't respect my boundaries. Your boundaries. In the house I helped you buy. With the children I helped you raise. I'm sorry, I said quietly. Not because I meant it, but because Emma and Lucas were watching. Thursday was the breaking point. I arrived at 7. Jessica was still home, unusual for her. Dorothy, we need to talk. My heart sank. Okay, this isn't working anymore. There it was, the words I'd been waiting for since Friday. What isn't working? This, you being here all the time. I think we need some space. Maybe you could just come on Fridays from now on, just 1 day a week. 1 day, after 15 years of 3. What about the kids? Who'll take care of them? I'll figure it out. Maybe hire someone. Hire someone. Pay a stranger to do what I'd been doing for free out of love. Does Michael know about this? Her jaw tightened. Michael doesn't need to know every little detail of how I run our household. Our household, not our family. Household. Jessica, I think we should wait until Michael gets home to discuss this. There's nothing to discuss. This is my decision. The kids are his children too. And I'm their mother. Her voice rose. I make the decisions about their care, not you. Emma appeared in the hallway, still in her pajamas. Mom? Why are you yelling? Jessica's face changed instantly. Smooth. Calm. I'm not yelling, sweetheart. Grandma and I are just talking. Go get dressed for school. Emma looked at me, eyes wide and scared, then disappeared down the hallway. Jessica waited until she was gone, then leaned in close. Listen to me very carefully. I am done. Done with you being in my house, in my kitchen, in my life constantly. You've helped, and I appreciate it, but it's time for you to step back. I'm their grandmother, and I'm their mother. And you need to remember which one of those is more important. She grabbed her purse and headed for the door. I have a meeting. Lock up when you leave. And Dorothy, think about what I said. 1 day a week, or maybe none at all. The door slammed behind her. I stood in the kitchen with the cabinets I'd helped refinish, the table where I'd fed my grandchildren thousands of meals, the refrigerator covered in their drawings made during afternoons with me, and felt something inside me crack. Not break, not yet, but crack, like ice before it shatters. That night, Michael texted, 5 more days, Mom. Can't wait to see you and the kids. You're the best. Love you. I stared at that message for a long time. Then I looked at the house guidelines still in my purse. Then I thought about Jessica's face when she said, burden. And I made a decision. When Michael came home, he would know everything, every word, every insult, every casual cruelty his wife had inflicted while he was gone. Because I was done protecting her. I was done being convenient. I was done being used. Friday morning, I picked up Emma and Lucas from school at 3. Jessica had texted, have friends over. Take kids to your place. Friends over again. Over. Of course. We pulled into Jessica's driveway, and through the window, I saw them. The same 3 women from last Friday. Wine glasses, laughter. It was 3 in the afternoon on a Friday, and I was taking care of her children. Again. Emma saw them too. Mom's friends are always here now. Lucas pressed his face against the window. Is Mom having a party without us? Something inside me snapped, not cracked, snapped. Come on, kids. Let's get your things. I opened the door without knocking. The laughter stopped. Jessica looked up, wine glass in hand, and I saw it clearly now. Not guilt, annoyance. I was interrupting her party, and that's when everything exploded. The living room fell silent when we walked in. 4 women, 4 wine glasses, 4 pairs of eyes turning toward us, toward me. Emma and Lucas stood on either side of me, backpacks hanging from their shoulders. I felt Emma's hand slip into mine. Oh! Jessica set her wine glass down too quickly. Some of it sloshed onto the coffee table. You're here. School ended at 3, like always. One of the women, Diane, the college friend, smiled too widely. Well, hello! You must be the famous grandmother we've heard so much about. There was that word again. Famous. My stomach twisted. Kids, go pack your overnight bags, Jessica said quickly, standing up. You're staying at Grandma's tonight. But Mom, Lucas started. Now, Lucas, please. They hesitated, looking at me. I nodded, trying to smile. Go ahead, sweethearts. I'll wait here. They disappeared down the hallway, and I heard their bedroom door close. I should have followed them, should have just gathered their things and left. But something kept my feet planted on that floor. Maybe it was the way Jessica's friends were looking at me, curious, amused even. Maybe it was the wine bottle on the table, the second one, already half empty. Or maybe it was just that I was tired, so incredibly tired of pretending. Dorothy, you can wait in the kitchen if you want, Jessica said, her voice tight. We're just finishing up here. I'm fine here, thank you. An awkward pause. One of the women I didn't recognize, brunette, probably late 30s, cleared her throat. So, Jessica, you were saying? About the babysitting situation? My blood went cold. Jessica's face flushed. Rachel, maybe we should... Oh, come on. The third woman, a blonde and expensive athleisure, laughed. She's standing right here, Jess. Might as well be honest. Be honest. As if honesty had been anywhere near this house lately. Jessica shot her a look. Kristen, stop. But Kristen was on her second glass of wine, maybe her third, and she had that loose, reckless energy that alcohol brings. No, seriously. She turned to me, smiling like we were old friends. Jessica was just telling us how you're here, like constantly. Must be nice for you, right? Having so much time with the grandkids? The words were friendly. The tone was not. I love spending time with Emma and Lucas, I said carefully. Of course you do, Diane chimed in. I mean, what else would you be doing, right? At your age? At my age. I was 68, not 90. I wasn't an invalid. I wasn't helpless. But that's how they saw me. How Jessica had described me. Actually, I said, my voice steadier than I felt, I volunteer at the library twice a week. I take painting classes. I have quite a full life. Oh, that's sweet, Kristen said, in that tone people use with children. But still, having the grandkids must really fill your days, give you purpose. Give me purpose. Like I was some empty vessel waiting to be filled by other people's needs. Jessica stood abruptly. Okay, ladies, I think... No, wait. Rachel leaned forward, genuinely curious now. I want to understand, because honestly, Jess has been venting about this for months, and I'm trying to figure out... Rachel! Jessica's voice was sharp, but Rachel didn't stop. The wine had loosened her tongue, and she was one of those people who thought brutal honesty was a virtue. I'm trying to figure out why you don't just tell her no sometimes, Like, you're allowed to have boundaries with your mother-in-law. You're allowed to say, I don't need you today. The room temperature dropped about 20 degrees. I appreciate Dorothy's help, Jessica said tightly. Can we please change the subject? But you just said, Diane started. Diane, drop it. But I couldn't let it go. Not anymore. What did she just say? I asked quietly. Before I got here. What was Jessica telling you? No one spoke. Jessica's face was bright red now. Dorothy, the kids are probably ready. You should— What did you say about me, Jessica? My voice didn't shake. It should have, but it didn't. Kristen giggled nervously. Oh boy, this is awkward. You want to know? Jessica's voice changed. The whine, the embarrassment, the months of hidden resentment. It all came pouring out. Fine. You want to know? Jessica, don't— Diane tried, but Jessica was past caring. I said that you're here constantly, that I can't have a single moment of peace in my own house without you showing up. That every time I turn around, you're there, cooking, cleaning, reorganizing my kitchen, acting like this is your house. Each word was a slap. I help, I said quietly. I thought I was helping. Helping? Jessica laughed, harsh and bitter. You think you're helping? You're suffocating me. You've been suffocating me for 15 years. Then why didn't you say something? Why didn't you tell Michael? Because Michael! She threw her hands up. Because your precious son thinks the sun rises and sets on you. Because every time I try to establish a single boundary, he says, Mom's just trying to help, or Mom means well, or where would we be without Mom? Her voice took on a mocking tone on those last words. So instead, she continued, pacing now, wine glass forgotten, I have to smile and say thank you while you take over my kitchen, my children, my life. Do you know what it's like? Having your mother-in-law constantly in your space, judging every decision you make? I never judged you. You don't have to say it. I see it in your face every time I choose differently than you would. Every time I'm too tired to cook dinner. Every time I need a break from my own kids. I see you thinking, that's not how I did it, or she's not as good a mother as I was. That's not true. Isn't it? Jessica's eyes were bright with tears now, but not sad ones, angry ones. You gave us money for the house, and now you act like you own it. You watch the kids for free, and now I'm supposed to be grateful forever. You help and help and help, until I feel like I'm drowning in your help. The words hung in the air. Diane stood up. Okay, I think we should all take a breath. No, I said softly. Let her finish. Jessica stared at me, breathing hard. You want me to finish? Fine. The truth is, Dorothy, you served your purpose. You helped us when we needed it. You were the free babysitter, the emergency bank, the safety net. But we don't need that anymore. Michael makes good money now. We could hire a real nanny, someone who'd actually listen to what I want instead of doing whatever you think is best. A real nanny. Not a grandmother who loved her grandchildren. A real nanny. And the money? I heard myself ask. The $35,000 for the house, the car, the kitchen, the school tuition? Jessica's jaw clenched. Those were gifts. You gave them freely. You can't hold them over our heads forever. I'm not holding anything. Aren't you? Every time I try to create distance, I feel guilty because of everything you've done. That's manipulation, Dorothy. Even if you don't mean it to be. Kristen had gone very quiet. Rachel was staring at her wine glass. Diane looked like she wanted to disappear into the couch, but I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. So what are you saying? My voice sounded far away. You want me to— What? Stop seeing my grandchildren? I want you to stop acting like they're yours. They're mine. This is my family, my house, my life, and I'm done feeling like a guest in it. Footsteps on the stairs. Small, hesitant footsteps. Emma and Lucas appeared, overnight bags in hand. They'd heard everything. Emma's eyes were red and swimming with tears. Lucas looked confused, scared. "Grandma?" Emma's voice was so small. "Can we go now?" I looked at my granddaughter, at the tears streaming down her face, at Lucas, clutching his backpack like a life preserver. Then I looked at Jessica, who'd gone pale, realizing what had just happened. "Kids," she started. "We're leaving," I said quietly. I took their hands and walked toward the door. Behind me, I heard Jessica say, "Dorothy, wait, I didn't mean—" But she had meant it, every word. I turned at the door, looked at her one last time. "You know what, Jessica? You're right. I did give freely. I loved freely. I helped freely, and I never asked for anything in return except to be treated with basic respect. But you couldn't even give me that. Dorothy, I'm taking Emma and Lucas home with me tonight. You can pick them up tomorrow when you're sober." I opened the door. "And Jessica? You should probably call Michael, because I'm going to." Her face went white. "You wouldn't." I smiled. It wasn't a kind smile. "Watch me." I drove to my house on autopilot. Emma cried silently in the back seat. Lucas held her hand, his 9-year-old face trying so hard to be brave. "Grandma?" His voice was small. "Is Mom mad at you?" "No, sweetheart. Mom and I we had a disagreement. Adults have those sometimes." But it wasn't a disagreement. It was an execution. 15 years of love, dismissed in 5 minutes of wine-fueled honesty. At home, I made them grilled cheese sandwiches they didn't eat, put on a movie they didn't watch. Finally, around 8 o'clock, Emma crawled into my lap like she used to when she was little. "Grandma, I don't want you to go away." My heart cracked. "I'm not going anywhere, baby." "But Mom said—" "I know what Mom said, but nothing's going to keep me from loving you. Nothing. Do you understand?" She nodded against my chest. Within minutes, both kids were asleep on the couch, exhausted from the emotional weight they shouldn't have had to carry. I carried them to the guest room, tucked them in, kissed their foreheads. Then I went to my bedroom, closed the door, and sat on the edge of my bed. My phone felt heavy in my hands. For 15 years, I'd protected Jessica, made excuses for her, smoothed things over, kept the peace. But she'd crossed a line today, in front of my grandchildren, in front of her friends. She'd meant every word. And I was done protecting her. It was 9 o'clock at night here, which meant it was 9 in the morning in Singapore. Michael would be getting ready for his meetings. I pulled up his contact. My thumb hovered over the call button. What was I going to say? "Your wife hates me? I'm a burden? She only wanted me around when I was useful? Would he even believe me?" Jessica was right about one thing. Michael thought the sun rose and set on me. But he also loved his wife, the mother of his children, his partner of 15 years. What if he chose her? What if I destroyed my son's marriage and lost everything anyway? My phone buzzed, a text from Jessica. "Dorothy, I'm so sorry. I was drinking. I didn't mean any of that. Please don't tell Michael. Let's talk tomorrow when everyone's calmer." I stared at that message. She was sorry she got caught. Sorry I'd heard. Sorry the kids had heard. But she wasn't sorry for feeling it. Another text came through. "Please, think of Emma and Lucas. They don't need their dad flying home early and causing drama. Can we just handle this like adults?" Like adults. Like adults who respect each other. Like adults who don't call each other burdens. My finger pressed the call button before I could change my mind. It rang once. Twice. "Mom!" Michael's voice was bright, cheerful. "This is a nice surprise. I was just thinking about you guys. How's Friday going? Kids okay?" I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. "Mom? You there?" "I'm here." My voice sounded strange, tight. "What's wrong?" His tone changed immediately, sharp, worried. "Is everyone okay? Are the kids—" "The kids are fine. They're asleep. Michael, I need you to do something for me. And I need you to trust me." "Of course, anything. What's going on? I need you to listen to something, and I need you to not say anything, not ask questions, just listen. Can you do that? Silence on the other end. Then, Mom, you're scaring me. I know, but please, just trust me. This is important. Okay, I'm listening. I took a deep breath. I'm going to put you on speaker. Don't hang up. Don't say anything, no matter what you hear. Promise me. I promise. But Mom, just listen. I put the phone on speaker and set it on my nightstand. Then I told him everything, every word Jessica had said, her friends' comments, the way she'd looked at me, the list of guidelines, the weeks of cold treatment. I spoke quietly, carefully, trying to keep my voice steady. But halfway through, it broke. She said I served my purpose, Michael, like I was an appliance she didn't need anymore. Like 15 years of loving her children, of helping her family, of being there for every crisis and celebration, like all of it was just transactional. I heard something on Michael's end, a sharp intake of breath, or maybe a curse word cut off. And the kids heard. Emma and Lucas were standing on the stairs, and they heard their mother say I was suffocating her, that she wanted me gone, that she was only tolerating me because of you. Mom! His voice was choked. I'm not finished. I wiped my eyes. She called the money we gave them gifts, said we couldn't hold them over her head. Michael, I never once mentioned that money, never asked for it back, never used it as leverage. I gave it because I loved you, both of you. Silence. Then, where are the kids now? Here, asleep in the guest room. Jessica texted asking me not to tell you, said we should handle this like adults. A bitter laugh from Michael's end. Like adults, Jesus Christ. What do I do? I asked, hating how small my voice sounded. I don't want to cause problems in your marriage, but I can't. I can't keep pretending this is okay. Mom. His voice was different now, hard. I need you to do something else for me. What? I need you to go back to the house, Jessica's house, tonight. Michael, I don't think... Please, trust me like I trusted you. Go back there. I'm guessing she and her friends are still drinking? Probably. Good. I want you to call me when you get there. Put me on speaker. Hide outside the window if you have to. I need to hear this for myself. You believe me? Mom. His voice cracked. I believe you, but I need evidence. Because when I file for divorce, I need to make sure I get custody of my kids. And emotional abuse, even if it's toward you, that matters. Divorce. The word hung in the air. Michael, maybe that's too extreme. She called my mother a burden, in front of my children. After everything you've done for us, for her. No, Mom, this isn't extreme. This is overdue. I closed my eyes. What if she's changed the subject? What if she's not talking about it anymore? Then we'll figure something else out. But I have a feeling. He paused. I have a feeling Jessica's been putting on a show for me for a long time. And tonight, with enough wine in her, she'll tell the truth. Just like she did with you there. He was right. I knew he was right. The kids. Are there any neighbors you trust? Someone who could stay with them for an hour? Mrs. Patterson next door. She's watched them before. Call her, then go. Please, Mom, I need to know exactly who I married. I need to hear it in her own words. My hands were shaking. Okay. And Mom? Yes? I love you. I'm sorry I didn't see this. I'm sorry I wasn't there to protect you, but I'm here now. I'm catching the first flight home. But first, we get the truth on record. 20 minutes later, Mrs. Patterson was settled on my couch with a book, checking on Emma and Lucas every few minutes. I drove back to Jessica's house, my heart pounding. It was 10:15. The lights were still on. 2 cars still in the driveway. Her friends hadn't left yet. I parked down the street in the shadows, called Michael. I'm here, I whispered. Good. Now get close to a window, anywhere you can hear them clearly. Put me on speaker and just let me listen. I crept through the side yard, staying low. The living room window was open, probably to air out the wine smell. Voices drifted out. Laughter. The clink of glasses. I pressed myself against the house, held my phone up toward the window, and let my son hear the truth about his wife. What came through that window in the next 15 minutes would change everything. And there was no going back. I pressed my back against the cold siding of the house, phone held up toward the open window. Michael was silent on the other end, listening. Inside, I heard the sound of wine being poured. Another bottle opened. Okay, she's gone. That was Kristen. Jess, I have to say, that was brutal. I know, Jessica's voice. She sounded tired, but not regretful. I've been holding that in for so long. It actually felt good to finally say it. My chest tightened. But the kids heard, Rachel said quietly. Emma was crying. They'll get over it. Kids are resilient, and honestly, maybe it's better they understand now that Grandma isn't going to be around as much. Rip the Band-Aid off, you know? Diane's voice. So you're really going to do it? Cut her off? A pause. The sound of Jessica drinking. Not cut her off completely. That would make me look bad. No, I'm thinking major holidays only. Christmas, Thanksgiving. Maybe their birthdays if she behaves. But the weekly visits? The constant drop-ins? That's done. What about Michael? Kristen asked. He's going to lose his mind. Jessica laughed. Actually laughed. Please, Michael's a mama's boy, sure, but he's also conflict avoidant. He'll make some noise, maybe try to guilt-trip me, but eventually he'll see my side. Especially when I explain how suffocating she's been. How unhealthy it is for the kids to be so dependent on their grandmother. That's actually kind of genius, Rachel said. Flip it so you're the concerned parent. Exactly. I'm not being cruel. I'm setting healthy boundaries for my children. Who could argue with that? I felt sick. Beside me, through the phone speaker, I heard Michael breathing hard. Sharp, angry breaths. And the money? Diane again. The house down payment? The car? All that? What about it? Jessica's voice hardened. She gave that to us. Gave, past tense, gift. You can't take back a gift. Besides, what's she going to do? Sue us? She's too proud for that. Too dignified. She said the word dignified like it was an insult. Plus, Jessica continued, let's be real. She has nothing else. No life. No friends her own age. We were doing her a favor, letting her be so involved. She should be thanking us for giving her purpose all these years. My hand trembled. The phone nearly slipped from my grip. That's cold, Kristen said, but she was laughing. It's honest, Jessica corrected. Look, I appreciate what she did. I do. But there's a difference between helping and taking over. And Dorothy took over. My kitchen, my kids, my marriage. Michael couldn't make a single decision without, well, let me ask Mom, or Mom always did it this way. So what's the plan? Rachel asked. Like, specifically? I already started. Did you see the list of rules I left her? She hated that. I could tell. And this week, I've been colder, shorter with her. Not mean, just distant, making it clear she's not welcome the way she used to be. And if she complains to Michael? She won't. That's the beauty of it. Dorothy is too proud to tattle. She'll just quietly accept it, maybe cry into her pillow at night, and eventually fade into the background where she belongs. By summer, she'll be lucky if she sees the kids twice a month. Twice a month. After 15 years of 3 days a week. After raising those children like they were my own. What if Michael notices? Diane asked. By the time he notices, it'll be the new normal. And I'll just say Dorothy was the one who wanted more space, that she was feeling overwhelmed. Who's he going to believe? His wife or his mother who never wants to cause problems? The calculation in her voice was stunning. She'd thought this through, planned it. Every move designed to push me out while making herself look innocent. Honestly, Jessica continued, her voice getting looser with wine, I should have done this years ago. But she was useful, you know. Free childcare saved us probably, what, $200,000 over the years? At least, Kristen agreed. So I waited, used what I could use. But now Michael's salary is high enough that we can afford a real nanny. Someone professional who will actually follow my instructions instead of spoiling the kids and undermining me. A real nanny, Rachel repeated, as opposed to their grandmother. Exactly. Someone who understands they work for me. Not someone who thinks they have equal rights to my children because they share DNA. I closed my eyes, tears streaming down my face. Through the phone, I heard a sound from Michael, low, dangerous, like a growl. Jess, can I ask you something? Diane's voice was cautious. Do you even like Dorothy? A long pause. Honestly? No, I never really did. She's too nice, you know? It's fake. Nobody's that selfless. Nobody gives that much without wanting something back. She's been keeping score this whole time, I guarantee it. Every dollar, every hour, every sacrifice, all written down somewhere, waiting to cash in. My eyes opened. Because I had been keeping score. Tonight. For the first time in 15 years, I'd written it all down. But not to cash in, to remember my worth. So what happens if Dorothy fights back? Kristen asked. Jessica snorted. She won't. Trust me. I've known her for 15 years. She's all martyr complex and silent suffering. She'd rather die than cause a scene or upset Michael. That's why this is going to work. She'll just disappear. Quietly. Like she was never really part of our family at all. Like I was never really part of the family. After being there for the birth of both children. After nights in the hospital when Emma had pneumonia. After helping them move 3 times. After every birthday, every holiday, every crisis. Like none of it mattered. Well, Rachel said, raising her glass. Here's to boundaries. And to getting your house back. To getting my life back, Jessica corrected. Glasses clinked. They drank to my erasure. I pulled back from the window, phone still recording, and walked quietly back to my car. Got in, closed the door, put the phone to my ear. Michael? His voice was barely controlled, shaking with rage. I heard everything. I'm sorry. Don't you dare apologize. His voice broke. Don't you dare. Mom, I don't even know what to say. I don't know who that woman is. She's your wife. She's a stranger who's been living in my house, raising my kids, sleeping in my bed, and I had no idea who she really was. I heard sounds in the background, movement, zippers. What are you doing? Packing. I'm leaving for the airport in 20 minutes. There's a flight through Tokyo that'll get me home by tomorrow afternoon. I already booked it. Michael, maybe you should wait, cool down, think about this. Think about what, Mom? Think about the fact that my wife called you a burden? That she planned to erase you from our lives? That she's been lying to my face for years? No. No more thinking. No more waiting. The kids are going to be fine. Better than fine. Because they're going to grow up seeing their father stand up for what's right. They're going to learn that you don't treat people like garbage just because they love you. I heard voices in his background. Hotel staff, probably. I need to go. Keep the kids at your place tomorrow. Don't answer if Jessica calls. Don't engage. Just sit tight. I'll be home by 5. What are you going to do? I'm going to ask my wife to leave our house, and then I'm going to call a lawyer. Michael, Mom, she said you were never really part of our family. She's wrong. You are the family. You've always been the family. And I'm going to make sure she understands that. He hung up. I sat in my car, in the dark, hands shaking. It was done. There was no taking it back now. Tomorrow, Jessica would learn that her carefully laid plans had fallen apart, that her honesty had been recorded, that her husband had heard every word. Part of me felt victorious, part of me felt terrified, and part of me, a small, quiet part, felt sad. Not for Jessica, but for the family we'd all pretended to be. I drove home slowly. Mrs. Patterson was asleep on my couch, book on her chest. I gently woke her, thanked her, sent her home, checked on Emma and Lucas, still sleeping. Emma's face was tear-stained, but peaceful now. I kissed them both. Then I went to my room, got ready for bed, and lay awake staring at the ceiling. At 3 a.m, my phone buzzed. A text from Jessica. "Dorothy, I know you're awake. We need to talk tomorrow morning. This has gone too far. I'm willing to apologize properly if you'll just give me a chance, please. Think of the kids. They need us to work this out like adults. Call me when you get this." I stared at that message for a long time. Then I turned off my phone and went to sleep. Because by tomorrow afternoon, when Michael walked through her door, Jessica would understand something important. Some things can't be worked out, some words can't be unsaid, and some lines, once crossed, destroy everything. She was about to learn that lesson the hard way. I woke up to pounding on my door, not knocking, pounding. 7:30 in the morning. Emma and Lucas were still asleep down the hall. I grabbed my robe, checked the peephole. Jessica. Her hair was wild, mascara smudged under her eyes. She looked like she hadn't slept at all. "Dorothy, I know you're in there. Open this door." My hand froze on the doorknob. "Dorothy, please." "We need to talk. You can't just ignore me." I heard a bedroom door open, small footsteps. "Grandma?" Lucas, standing in the hallway, rubbing his eyes. "Why is Mom yelling?" My heart broke. "Go back to bed, sweetheart." "Is she mad at us?" "No, baby, she's not mad at you. Go on, close the door." He hesitated, then obeyed. Jessica pounded again. "I can hear you in there. Open up or I'm calling the police. You have my children." The police. She was threatening to call the police. I unlocked the door but kept the chain on, opened it 3 inches. "Jessica, lower your voice. You'll wake the whole neighborhood." "I don't care. You have my kids and you won't answer my calls. What kind of game are you playing?" Her breath smelled like wine. Stale wine from last night. She hadn't sobered up. Maybe she'd kept drinking. "The kids are fine. They're asleep. I want them, now. Pack their bags and send them out." "No." Her eyes widened. "No? You don't get to tell me no. I'm their mother. And you're drunk. I'm not sending them out to a drunk mother. I'm not drunk. I had a few glasses of wine last night. So what? That doesn't give you the right to keep my children from me." "You're still wearing yesterday's clothes, Jessica. Your car is parked crooked in my driveway." "You reek of alcohol. No, you're not taking them." She tried to push the door. The chain held. "Let me in. We need to talk." "We have nothing to talk about." "Yes, we do. About yesterday. I was drunk, I was stupid, I said things I didn't mean." "You meant every word." No, I didn't. Dorothy, please, you have to believe me. I was just venting. Everyone vents sometimes." "It didn't mean anything." I looked at her through that 3-inch gap. Really looked at her. She was panicking. Not guilty. Not remorseful. Panicking. Because she knew Michael would be home soon. "Did you call him?" Her voice dropped. "Did you tell Michael?" I said nothing. "Oh, God, you did. You told him, didn't you?" She ran her hands through her hair. "Dorothy, please, please don't do this. I'll apologize. I'll do whatever you want. Just, please don't ruin my marriage." "I didn't ruin anything. You did that yourself." It was one conversation, one stupid drunk conversation. Everyone says things they don't mean when they're drinking with friends. For 15 minutes? You talked about getting rid of me for 15 minutes, Jessica. That wasn't venting. That was planning. Her face crumpled. "He's going to leave me. If you told him everything, he's going to leave me. That's between you and Michael." No, you don't get to do that. You don't get to destroy my family and then act innocent." "Your family?" My voice stayed calm, but inside I was shaking. "Your family that I was never really part of? Your family where I served my purpose? That family?" She froze. "You heard that?" "I heard everything." The color drained from her face. "How much did you tell him?" "All of it." "Oh, God. Oh, God." She was crying now. Real tears. Scared tears. "Dorothy, please. I have kids. I have a life. You can't just... You can't destroy that because I said some mean things when I was drunk. Mean things? I opened the door a little wider, still chained. You called me a burden. You said I was suffocating you. You told your friends you only tolerated me because of the money and free childcare. You planned to erase me from my grandchildren's lives while making it look like it was my choice. I was angry. I was stressed. You meant it. My voice broke. Every single word. And the worst part? If I hadn't overheard you, you would have done it. Slowly pushed me out while Michael was traveling, made me feel so unwelcome that I'd stop coming. And then you'd tell everyone I was the one who chose to leave. She couldn't deny it. We both knew it was true. What do you want from me? Her voice was desperate. An apology? Fine. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Is that what you want to hear? No. Money? Do you want us to pay you back? We can work something out. A payment plan or... I don't want your money, Jessica. Then what? What do you want? I looked at her. This woman I'd welcomed into my family 15 years ago. This woman I'd helped, supported, loved like a daughter. This stranger, I want you to leave my porch. I want you to go home and sober up. And I want you to wait for your husband to come home and face what you've done. When is he coming home? Soon. Her face went white. How soon? Soon enough. Dorothy, please, go home, Jessica. I closed the door, locked it, put the chain back on. She pounded for another minute, then I heard her footsteps retreating. Her car starting, driving away badly, tires squealing. I leaned against the door, heart racing. Emma was standing in the hallway. Grandma? What's happening? I knelt down, pulled her into a hug. Everything's going to be okay, sweetheart. Is Dad coming home? Yes, this afternoon. Is he mad at Mom? I pulled back, looked into my granddaughter's eyes. Your dad loves you very much, and so do I. That's what matters. Okay? She nodded, but I could see the fear there, the confusion. Can we make pancakes? She asked quietly. Of course we can. We made pancakes. Lucas joined us. We ate in near silence, the kids picking at their food. At noon, my phone rang. Michael. Mom, I'm through customs, catching an Uber. Be there in 40 minutes. Okay. How are the kids? Confused, scared, but okay. And you? Holding on. Jessica? She came by this morning. I didn't let her in. I heard him exhale. Good. Mom, I need to tell you something before I get there. What? I called a lawyer from Tokyo during my layover. I wanted to know what my options were. My stomach dropped. Michael, I'm filing for separation, at minimum. Maybe divorce. I don't know yet. But I can't be married to someone who treats you that way, who treats anyone that way. Don't make a decision you'll regret because of me. This isn't because of you, it's because of who she is, who she's been hiding from me. His voice was thick. I keep thinking about all the times I traveled, all the times I left you alone with her. What else did she say? What else did she do that you never told me? Michael, tell me the truth. How long has she been like this? I closed my eyes. Little things, for about 2 years. But it got worse when you started traveling more. In the last 6 months, She what? She stopped pretending, stopped being nice when you weren't around. Silence on his end. Then, Jesus Christ. But she's still the mother of your children. And you're my mother. The woman who raised me, who taught me what love actually looks like. And I'll be damned if I'm going to let anyone, wife or not, treat you like you're disposable. Tears ran down my face. I love you. I love you too, Mom. See you soon. The 40 minutes felt like hours. The kids sensed something big was coming. They stayed close to me, quiet, watching TV without really watching. At 12:40, I heard a car in the driveway. Emma ran to the window. It's Dad! She and Lucas flew to the door. I followed slowly. Michael stood on my porch, still in his travel clothes, looking exhausted and heartbroken and furious all at once. Daddy! Emma crashed into him. He dropped his bag, wrapped his arms around both kids, buried his face in their hair. I missed you so much. We missed you too. He looked up at me over their heads. I saw it in his eyes, the anger, the hurt, the determination. He stood, keeping one hand on each child's shoulder, and walked to me, wrapped me in the tightest hug I'd had in years. I'm so sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry. I held my son and let myself cry. For the first time in days, I felt safe. Okay. He pulled back, wiped his eyes. Emma, Lucas, I need to talk to Grandma alone for a minute. Can you guys go watch TV? They left reluctantly. Michael turned to me. I'm going home, to my house. I'm going to tell Jessica that she needs to leave. Michael, maybe you should sleep first. Calm down. I've had 13 hours on a plane to calm down. I'm not angry anymore. I'm decided. He looked at me steadily. She's not going to change, Mom. This is who she is. And I won't raise my kids in a house where cruelty is rewarded and love is punished. What about counseling? Therapy? Maybe. Eventually, if she's willing to admit what she did. But first, she leaves. The kids stay with me. We figure out custody. We figure out the rest. And if she fights? He pulled out his phone. I have the recording of everything she said last night. My lawyer says that's legal in this state as long as one party consents, and you consented by putting me on speaker. It's evidence of her character, of her intent, of who she really is. I couldn't believe this was happening. Are you sure? He took my hands. Mom, you taught me something when I was little. Remember? You said, never let anyone make you small just to make themselves feel big. You taught me that. And then you forgot it yourself. I started to cry again. Well, I didn't forget. And I'm going to show my kids what it looks like to stand up for people we love, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. He kissed my forehead. Keep the kids here. I'll call you in a few hours. Michael! Mom, trust me. I've got this. He walked to his rental car, drove away, toward the house where his wife was waiting, toward the conversation that would change everything. And I stood on my porch, watching him go, and felt something I hadn't felt in years. Pride. My son had become the man I'd raised him to be, and he was about to show Jessica exactly what that meant. The phone rang at 3:15, Michael's name on the screen. I answered on the first ring. Hello? Mom. His voice was strained, exhausted. Are the kids nearby? They're in the other room. Why? Keep them there. I need you to hear something. I'm putting you on speaker. Michael, what's... Just listen, please. A rustling sound, background noise, then Jessica's voice, sharp and defensive. Acting insane. You fly home early, won't even talk to me, just demand I sit down like I'm a child. Jessica. Michael's voice was ice. Sit down. A pause, the sound of someone sitting heavily. Fine, I'm sitting. Now will you please tell me what this is about? It's about my mother. Oh, for God's sake. It's about, Michael continued, his voice rising, what you said about my mother, to your friends, last night. Silence. Then, Michael, I was drunk. Whatever Dorothy told you, I was drunk and upset and... Dorothy didn't tell me. I heard you. I could hear Jessica's breathing quicken. What do you mean you heard me? I mean, I was on the phone. My mother called me while you were talking, put me on speaker. I heard every single word you said. The silence that followed was deafening. That's not legal. You can't just... It's completely legal. One-party consent state. My mother consented, and I recorded it. You what? I recorded it, Jessica. All 15 minutes of it. You calling my mother a burden. You saying she served her purpose. You planning to push her out of our lives while making it look like her choice. You laughing about the money she gave us. All of it. Michael... Her voice was panicking now. Baby, please. You have to understand. No, you need to understand. I've been on a plane for 13 hours. 13 hours of listening to that recording over and over, trying to find one sentence, one word. anything that would make what you said sound less horrible than it was. It was taken out of context. What context? His voice was sharp. What context makes it okay to call someone who helped raise our children a burden? What context makes it okay to say she was never really part of our family? I was venting. Everyone vents about their in-laws. Venting is saying she drives me crazy sometimes, or I wish she'd call first. Venting is not methodically planning to erase her from our lives. That's not venting. That's cruelty. I heard movement. Jessica standing, maybe. So what? You're taking her side, over me, over your wife. There are no sides, Jessica. There's right and wrong, and what you did was wrong. I apologized to her this morning. You apologized because you got caught, not because you felt sorry. There's a difference. That's not fair. Fair? Michael's laugh was bitter. You want to talk about fair? My mother gave us $35,000 for this house. Never asked for it back. Not once. She watched our kids 3 days a week for 15 years. Do you know what that's worth? Professional childcare for 2 kids, 3 days a week, for 15 years. Michael, over $280,000. That's what it's worth. But she didn't do it for money. She did it because she loved us, loved our children, loved you, even though you clearly never loved her back. Jessica's voice turned cold. So this is about money? You think I owe her? No, but you owe her respect, basic human decency, and you couldn't even give her that. Fine. You want me to respect her? I'll respect her. I'll apologize properly. I'll make it up to her. Just tell me what you want me to do. I want you to pack a bag and leave. Silence. Then Jessica's voice, small and shocked. What? I want you to leave this house. Tonight. Go stay with your parents. Or one of your friends from last night. I don't care, but you need to leave. You're kicking me out? Of my own house? This house that my mother helped us buy? Yes. Michael, you can't do this. What about the kids? What about our marriage? The kids are staying with me. They're safe with my mother, where they should have been all along. And our marriage? He paused. I don't know, Jessica. I honestly don't know if we have one anymore. You're going to divorce me over this? Over your mother? Her voice was rising to a shriek. I'm considering divorce because of who you are. Because you hid this person from me for 15 years. Because I don't know if I can trust you. And I sure as hell don't want my kids learning that this is how you treat people who love you. She's manipulating you. Can't you see that? She's playing the victim and you're falling for it. She's not manipulating anyone. She called me because she was hurt and scared and didn't know what else to do. And instead of coming to me like an adult, you tried to cover it up. You texted her begging her not to tell me. You showed up at her house drunk this morning. That's not the behavior of someone who made a mistake. That's the behavior of someone who knew exactly what they were doing. I love you. Jessica was crying now. Michael, I love you. I love our family. Please don't do this. If you loved our family, you wouldn't have tried to destroy it. I wasn't destroying anything. I was just trying to set boundaries. Boundaries? His voice was incredulous. You call planning to phase my mother out of our lives boundaries? You call lying to me about how you treated her boundaries? She was too involved. She was always here, always watching, always judging. She was helping. She was loving. She was being a grandmother, and you couldn't stand it because... Why, Jessica? Why? Because she made you look bad? Because she actually showed up while you were drinking wine with your friends? That's not fair. You want to know what's not fair? What's not fair is Emma crying herself to sleep last night because she heard you call her grandmother a burden. What's not fair is Lucas asking me if Grandma is going away forever. What's not fair is my mother sitting in her house thinking she was too much, too needy, too burdensome, when the truth is she was the only person holding this family together. I pressed my hand to my mouth, tears streaming down my face. Michael, please, no, I'm done. Pack a bag. Be out by tonight. I'll call you tomorrow when I've calmed down and we can figure out next steps. But right now, I can't even look at you. If you make me leave, I'm calling a lawyer. I'll fight for custody. I'll fight for this house. I'll fight for everything. Then fight. But you're going to lose. Because I have evidence of your character, of your true nature, and no judge is going to give custody to someone who emotionally abuses family members. That's not abuse. It is. And my lawyer agrees. A sharp intake of breath. You already talked to a lawyer? I called one from Tokyo. First thing, I wanted to know my options. You planned this. You came home planning to kick me out. I came home planning to protect my children and my mother. That's what fathers do. That's what sons do. It's called having a backbone. You should try it. I hate you. Her voice was pure venom now. I hate you for choosing her over me. I didn't choose her over you. I chose right over wrong. There's a difference. A sound like something breaking. A glass, maybe. Or a plate. Get out! Jessica screamed. Get out of my house. Go back to your precious mommy. See if she can be your wife too. See if she can replace me. Gladly. Footsteps. A door opening. Michael's voice quieter now. I'll be back for more of my things tomorrow. Don't touch the kids' rooms. Don't touch anything of theirs. They're mine. You can't take my children from me. Watch me. The door slammed, footsteps on gravel, a car door opening. Mom? Michael's voice directly into the phone now. You still there? I'm here. My voice was shaking. I'm coming back to your house. I'm bringing some of my things. Is that okay? Of course it's okay. The kids, how do I tell them? Together. We tell them together. The truth in words they can understand. I'm so tired, Mom. I know, baby. Come home. He laughed, a broken sound. Home. Your house is home now, I guess. It's always been home. For all of you. 20 minutes later, his car pulled into my driveway. Emma and Lucas ran to the door. Michael got out carrying 2 suitcases and a box. Emma stopped. Daddy, why do you have suitcases? He knelt down. Come here, both of you. Let's go inside and talk. We sat in my living room, the kids on the couch between Michael and me. Your mom and I are having some problems, he started. Because of Grandma? Lucas asked. No, buddy, because of how Mom treated Grandma, and that's not okay. Emma's eyes filled with tears. Are you getting divorced? I don't know yet, sweetheart. Maybe. But what I do know is that you two are going to be okay. We're going to stay here with Grandma for a while, and we're going to figure everything out together. What about Mom? Emma whispered. You'll still see Mom. We'll work out a schedule, but for now, we need some space from each other. Lucas leaned against me. I don't want Grandma to leave. Michael looked at me, his eyes red. Grandma's not going anywhere. Ever. I promise. That night, I made dinner for my son and grandchildren. We ate together. We watched a movie. We pretended for a few hours that everything was normal. And when the kids finally fell asleep in the guest room, Michael and I sat at my kitchen table. Thank you, he said quietly. For what? For being strong enough to show me the truth, for not protecting me from it. I didn't want to hurt you. I know. But sometimes love means telling the hard truths. You taught me that. I reached across the table and took his hand. My son. My beautiful boy who'd grown into a man who knew the difference between right and wrong. What happens now? I asked. He squeezed my hand. Now? We heal. Together. As a family. A real one. The phone rang at 2:17 in the morning. Jessica's name lit up my screen. I stared at it in the darkness of my bedroom. Let it ring once, twice, 3 times. My finger hovered over the decline button. But something stopped me. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe it was years of training to always answer when family called. Maybe it was just exhaustion making me stupid. I answered. Hello? Silence. Then breathing. Uneven, shaky breathing. Jessica? He changed the locks. Her voice was small, broken. Nothing like the confident, cruel woman from yesterday. I left to get coffee and clear my head, and when I came back, he changed the locks. I sat up in bed, turned on the lamp. Where are you? Sitting in my car, in my own driveway, locked out of my own house? A bitter laugh. He texted me, said I could come get clothes tomorrow, with supervision, like I'm a criminal. I didn't know what to say. Dorothy? Her voice cracked. I lost everything. In one day, my husband, my kids, my home, everything. Part of me wanted to feel sorry for her, the part of me that had spent 15 years caring for this woman, helping her, treating her like a daughter. But the other part, the part that remembered burden and served her purpose, and never really part of our family, that part stayed quiet. You did this to yourself, I said softly. I know. She was crying now. I know I did. I didn't think he'd actually leave. I didn't think he'd choose you. He didn't choose me. He chose integrity. Same thing. A long pause. Do you hate me? Did I? I thought about it. Really thought about it. No, I said finally. I'm angry. I'm hurt. But I don't hate you. I don't deserve your kindness. No, you don't. But I'm not kind to you because you deserve it. I'm kind because that's who I am. And that's something you never understood about me. Silence on the other end. Can I ask you something? Jessica's voice was barely a whisper. What? Why did you do it? All those years, all that money, all that time. Why? Because I loved my son, and I loved my grandchildren, and I thought I loved you too, like a daughter. She made a sound, half laugh, half sob. I never wanted a second mother. I know that now. I had a mother. She was cold and critical, and nothing I did was ever good enough. And then you came along, so warm and generous and perfect, and I resented you. Every kind thing you did felt like a judgment on me. I closed my eyes. Jessica, that was never. I know it wasn't, but that's how it felt. Like you were showing me up in my own house, with my own kids, being the mother I couldn't be. You're a good mother. No, I'm not. Good mothers don't say those things. Good mothers don't plan to erase grandmothers from their kids' lives. Good mothers don't. She trailed off. I'm just like my mother, cold, calculating, using people. You don't have to be. Don't I? Isn't that just who I am? I thought about Emma's tears, Lucas's confusion, Michael's devastated face. I don't know, I said honestly, but you're going to have to figure that out. Because if you want any relationship with your children going forward, you're going to have to change, really change. Not just apologize because you got caught. How do I do that? Therapy, real therapy, not couples counseling to win Michael back. Individual therapy to figure out why you treat people the way you do. He'll never take me back. Maybe not, but your children still need a mother, a healthy one. So you do the work anyway. Not for him, not for me, for them. Another long silence. Dorothy? Yes? I am sorry. I know you don't believe me. I know I've apologized before, and it was just manipulation. But right now, sitting in this car, locked out of my life, I am actually sorry. For all of it. Then prove it. Get help. Become someone your children can be proud of. What if it's too late? It's never too late to become a better person, but it might be too late to save your marriage. You need to accept that. I heard her crying harder now. I love him. I really do love him. I believe you. But love isn't enough when there's no respect, when there's no kindness, when there's cruelty hiding under the surface. Did I ever have a chance? With you? Could we have ever actually gotten along? I thought about that. If you'd been honest, if you'd told me when I was overwhelming you instead of letting resentment build, if you'd set boundaries with kindness instead of cruelty, then yes, we could have. I ruined it. Yes, you did. I don't know what to do now. Call your parents. Get a hotel room. Sleep. Tomorrow, start making actual changes. That's all you can do. Will you tell Emma and Lucas that I love them? My throat tightened. You can tell them yourself. Michael won't keep them from you. He's not cruel like that. Not like me, you mean. Your words, not mine. A car started in the background. I should go. Thank you for not hanging up on me. Jessica? Yeah? Your children are amazing, funny and kind and smart. You helped create that. Remember that when you're doing the hard work, they're worth fighting for. She made a sound between a laugh and a sob. Even if I'm not? Everyone's worth fighting for. Even you. You just have to believe it yourself. She hung up. I sat in the darkness, phone in my lap, and wondered if she'd actually do it. Actually change. Probably not. But maybe. People surprise you sometimes. The next few days were strange. Michael worked from my house, taking calls in the guest bedroom, while Emma and Lucas did homework at my kitchen table. We fell into a routine: breakfast together, school drop-off, work and housework, school pickup, dinner, homework, TV, bed, like a real family. Jessica called the kids every night at 7. The conversations were stiff, awkward. Emma cried after most of them. Lucas pretended he was fine but clung to me more. On day 3, a process server came to my door. Divorce papers for Michael. He'd actually done it. Filed for divorce, asked for primary custody, listed the grounds: emotional abuse, documented evidence of cruel behavior toward family member, unstable behavior. Jessica fought back immediately, hired her own lawyer, demanded 50-50 custody, half the house value, spousal support. It was going to be ugly. On day 5, Mrs. Patterson from next door came over with a casserole. "I'm so proud of you," she said. "Standing up for yourself like that, most women your age would have just taken it. Most women my age, like being 68 meant I should accept being treated poorly." "I'm not most women," I said. She smiled. "No, you're not." On day 7, Michael sat me down after the kids went to bed. "Mom, I need to talk to you about something." My stomach dropped. "What?" "The house. My house with Jessica. The lawyer says it'll probably have to be sold, split the assets, and I've been thinking, Michael, if this is about the down payment, it's not. Well, it is, but not like you think." He took a breath. "That $35,000 you gave us 15 years ago, I want to pay you back, with interest. No, that was a gift. It was a gift to us, the couple, the family. But Jessica forfeited her right to that gift when she treated you the way she did. So I'm paying you back, from my half of the house sale. Michael, please, let me do this. Let me show you that your generosity wasn't wasted, that someone appreciated it." Tears filled my eyes. "You don't have to prove anything to me. I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me, so I can look at myself in the mirror and know I honored my father's memory. He would have been ashamed of how Jessica treated you, and he would have made this right, so I'm making it right." I couldn't argue with that. "Okay," I whispered. He hugged me. "Thank you for everything, for raising me right, for showing me what real love looks like, for being strong enough to demand respect." "I learned that from you," I said. "What?" "When you stood up to Jessica, when you chose integrity over comfort, you reminded me who I raised, and you reminded me who I am." We sat in comfortable silence for a while. "What happens now?" I asked. "Long term? Honestly, I don't know. The divorce will take months, maybe a year. Custody battles are brutal. Jessica's already claiming you're alienating her from the kids." "That's not true. I know, and the recording proves it, but it's still going to be hard, on everyone." "What about you? How are you doing?" He laughed bitterly. "I'm angry, sad, relieved, confused, all at once. I thought I knew her, thought I married someone kind and good, and finding out I was wrong, that I've been sleeping next to a stranger for 15 years, that messes with your head. You'll get through this. We'll get through this, together, because that's what families do. Real families." He stood up, kissed my forehead, and went to bed. I sat alone in my living room, in the house that had felt so empty after Robert died, and realized it had never been fuller. my son sleeping down the hall, my grandchildren breathing softly in the guest room, all of us under one roof, all of us safe, all of us together. It wasn't the family I'd imagined 15 years ago, but it was the family I had now. And maybe, just maybe, it was the family we were always meant to be. 2 weeks later, I saw Jessica at the grocery store. She looked different, thinner, tired, but cleaner, sober. She saw me, hesitated, then walked over. Dorothy. Jessica. Awkward silence. I started therapy, she said quietly. Twice a week. It's hard. Good things usually are. I'm also going to AA meetings. Turns out I was drinking more than I thought, using it to numb everything. I nodded, didn't know what to say. I'm not asking for forgiveness, she continued. I know I don't deserve it. I just wanted you to know that I'm trying. For Emma and Lucas. So maybe someday they can have a mother who's actually worthy of them. That's good, I said. They need that. She nodded, started to walk away, then turned back. Dorothy, thank you. For what? For loving them when I couldn't even love myself. She walked away before I could respond. I stood in the cereal aisle, cart half full, and felt something shift. Not forgiveness, not yet. But maybe, someday, understanding. Maybe even peace. 3 months after that night when everything exploded, I woke up to the smell of pancakes. Not my pancakes. Someone else was cooking in my kitchen. I put on my robe and walked out to find Michael at the stove, Emma setting the table, and Lucas pouring orange juice with the careful concentration of a 9-year-old trying not to spill. Surprise, Emma grinned. We're making you breakfast. What's the occasion? Michael turned from the stove, spatula in hand. Do we need an occasion to thank the woman who's let us invade her house for 3 months? You're not invading. This is your home. Actually, Michael said, flipping a pancake, that's what we wanted to talk to you about. My heart sank. They were leaving. Of course they were leaving. I'd gotten used to the noise, the chaos, the feeling of a full house. And now, Mom, breathe. Michael laughed. It's good news. Sit down. I sat. Emma bounced excitedly. Tell her, Dad. Okay. Michael brought over a plate of pancakes. So, the house sold. Finally. Settlement closed yesterday. That's wonderful. And after the lawyers took their cut, after we split everything with Jessica, after all the dust settled, I have enough for a down payment on a new place. Oh. I tried to smile. That's great, honey. Have you been looking at houses? Just one. He pulled out his phone, showed me a listing. It's 3 blocks from here. 4 bedrooms, big backyard, good school district. I put in an offer this morning. 3 blocks away. They'd still be close. It's perfect, I said, meaning it. There's just one problem. What? He looked at Emma and Lucas, then back at me. The kids don't want to leave you, and honestly, neither do I. Michael, you need your own space, your own life. You can't live with your mother forever. What if we changed the arrangement? He sat down across from me. What if instead of us moving into a new house alone, you came with us? I stared at him. What? There's a main floor bedroom. Perfect for you. Your own bathroom, your own space. But you'd be with us, the kids with their dad and their grandma. A real family unit. Michael, I can't. Why not? Emma interrupted. We want you there, Grandma. We love living with you. Don't you want your own home? This is our home, Lucas said quietly, wherever you are. My eyes filled with tears. But people will talk. They'll say I'm interfering, that I'm... Let them talk. Michael's voice was firm. I don't care what people say. I care about my kids having the grandmother they deserve. I care about not making the same mistake twice, pushing away the people who actually love us. What about when you meet someone new? Start dating again? He laughed. Mom, I'm not thinking about dating. I'm thinking about being a good father. And part of that is making sure my kids have you in their daily lives. Not just visits, not just holidays. Really there. You're serious. Completely. The house has enough room. We'd split expenses. You'd have your independence. But we'd be together. The way we should have been from the start. I looked at my son. At my grandchildren. At this family that had been broken and was slowly putting itself back together. Can I think about it? Of course. But Mom? Michael smiled. The offer on the house is contingent on your answer. I told them we need a few days to make sure it works for our family. You didn't. I did. Because we're a package deal now, the four of us. Take it or leave it. That afternoon, while Michael took the kids to the park, I sat alone and thought about Robert. About what he would say. And I realized I already knew. He'd say, Dorothy, stop being stubborn and accept the blessing you're being offered. He'd say, you raised that boy right. Now let him return the favor. He'd say, family isn't about maintaining distance to look proper. It's about showing up, being there, loving loudly. I picked up my phone and called Michael. Yes, I said when he answered. Yes? Yes, I'll move in with you, but we're splitting expenses 50-50. And I'm not giving up my painting classes or my library volunteering. I have my own life. I could hear the smile in his voice. Deal. 6 weeks later, we moved into the new house, 4 bedrooms, big kitchen, backyard with a swing set Michael installed himself. My room on the main floor, spacious, private, with a reading nook by the window. Emma and Lucas decorated it with pictures they'd drawn. Welcome home, Grandma. The divorce was finalized 2 weeks after we moved in. Jessica got visitation every other weekend and Wednesday dinners. Supervised at first, then slowly progressing to unsupervised as her therapist confirmed she was doing the work. She was different at pickups, quieter, more humble, actually listening when the kids talked instead of scrolling on her phone. It would take years to rebuild what she'd broken. Maybe it would never fully heal. But she was trying. And for Emma and Lucas's sake, that mattered. One Saturday morning, 3 months into the new house, I was in the kitchen making breakfast when the doorbell rang. I opened it to find Jessica standing there, not her usual pickup day. Jessica, everything okay? She held out an envelope. I wanted to give you this, in person. I opened it. A check. For $35,000. Jessica, what? From my half of the house sale, the down payment you gave us, I'm paying it back. Michael already... I know. He paid you from his half. This is from mine. Because... She took a breath. Because my therapist helped me understand something. That money wasn't just Michael's to pay back. I took it too. I benefited from it. And then I threw it in your face. I stared at the check. I can't accept this. Please, I need you to. I need to know that I'm not... Her voice broke. I'm not that person anymore, the one who takes and never gives back. Let me give back, please. I looked at this woman. This broken, trying, imperfect woman who'd hurt me so deeply. And I took the check. Thank you, I said softly. She nodded, tears streaming down her face. I don't expect forgiveness. I know I don't deserve it, but maybe someday we can be civil. For the kids. Maybe someday we can be more than civil, I said. If you keep doing the work. She wiped her eyes. I will. I promise. She left. I stood in the doorway, check in hand, and realized something. Healing isn't linear. It's messy and complicated, and sometimes people surprise you. Not everyone who hurts you stays broken. Not every ending is permanent. Sometimes people change. That night, after dinner, after homework, after the kids were in bed, Michael and I sat on the back porch. Mom, can I tell you something? Always. I was so angry at first, at Jessica, at myself for not seeing it, at the whole situation. That's natural. But now, he looked up at the stars. Now I'm almost grateful. Grateful? Because it brought us here, to this house, to this life, to being an actual family instead of just going through the motions. He turned to me. I spent 15 years trying to balance everyone, keep the peace, make everyone happy, and in the process, I forgot what actually mattered. And what's that? Truth, integrity, surrounding yourself with people who see your worth, and making sure the people you love know they're loved, not just through words, but through actions. I took his hand. You learned that from your father. I learned it from both of you. We sat in comfortable silence. Mom? Yeah? Are you happy? I thought about it. Really thought about it. 3 months ago, I'd been called a burden, dismissed, erased. Now I was sitting on a porch of a house I co-owned with my son, my grandchildren asleep upstairs, my life full of purpose and love and belonging. Yes, I said. For the first time in a long time, I'm actually happy. Good. Because you deserve it. You always have. Epilogue. Directly to the audience. My name is Dorothy Harrison. I'm 68 years old, and I want to tell you something important. You are not a burden. Read that again. Say it out loud if you need to. You are not a burden. If someone in your life makes you feel like your love is too much, your presence is unwanted, your help is conditional, that's not love, that's use. I spent 15 years giving everything. My time, my money, my heart. And I thought that was noble. That's what family does, right? We sacrifice. But there's a difference between sacrifice and being sacrificed, between giving freely and being taken from, between helping and being exploited. I didn't make that phone call to my son because I wanted revenge. I made it because I wanted him to know the truth. And sometimes the truth sounds like cruelty to people who've been getting away with lies. If you're watching this and you recognize yourself in my story, whether you're the grandmother, the mother, the father, the friend, I want you to know your dignity matters, your peace matters, your truth matters. Don't wait for others to give you permission to value yourself. 3 months ago, I thought I was losing my family. Today, I know I was actually finding it. The real one. The one built on respect and truth and genuine love. Not the performance, not the pretending. The real thing. Emma asked me last week, "Grandma, are you happy now?" And I realized, for the first time in years, I could answer honestly, "Yes, sweetheart, I am." Not because Jessica's gone, not because I won, but because I remembered something I'd forgotten. I raised my son to be strong, to know right from wrong, to stand up for people who can't stand up for themselves. And he was watching all along. Sometimes our children teach us as much as we teach them. To everyone listening, respect yourself enough to require respect from others. Love yourself enough to walk away from people who don't. And trust yourself enough to know the difference. You are not a burden. You are a blessing. Don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Call to action. Did my story touch you? Which city are you watching from? Let's meet in the comments below. If you've ever felt like a burden in your own family, if you've ever been dismissed or taken for granted, share your story in the comments. You're not alone. None of us are. If this story resonated with you, you can support me by clicking the Super Thanks button below. It helps me keep bringing real-life stories like Dorothy's to light. Stories that matter. Stories that heal. Thank you so much for your support. I'm looking forward to reading your thoughts on this story. On your screen right now, you'll see 2 more powerful stories I think you'll love. Stories about family, dignity, and finding your strength when you thought it was lost. There's so much more on my channel about standing up for yourself, setting boundaries, and remembering your worth. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a story. See you in the next one. With love and respect, and